that Jill Rodrigues video was making the rounds because, you know, Jill Rodrigues, I hope you guys should, we've done some snarky content on this channel for sure. But we also do a lot of good content. So if you're concerned about Jill Rodrigues, perhaps you could do a little Google about some of the things that she says and believes. So I don't know. People are upset about her makeup tutorial, I guess, with her green eyeliner, you guys. That video still makes me giggle. It's really not that deep, you're right.
Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I am here for part 2 of my Katie Joy talking about her hair tips, makeup tips, and all of that surrounding Jill Rodrigues. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey guys, so before we get into this video, I did want to talk for just a second. Some of you guys asked me my opinion on the giveaway that Katie Joy is hosting on her channel. I do not want to talk about it for too long in this video, but I will give my personal opinions. I am all for people doing good things around the holidays. If you're in a financial position where you can help people out who are not in the same position that you are in, I fully support that. I do my own thing. You know, my job does stuff for the community. I am all for it. I love to see it, not only during the holidays, but year round. However, I do think that when you are someone who is, in the words of Emily D. Baker, when you are collecting money to give it away, technically that is a lottery, and that is not allowed on YouTube. But the more important part of the issue that I have with this is if you are someone who has been caught being dishonest or untruthful or sketchy to your subscribers or to the YouTube audience as a whole, when you come out and do something like this, there is a big trust issue that goes along with that. And I think that that's the situation that we're finding ourselves in right now with Katie. That's why so many people are having issues with this. And not to mention, it does seem like a very convenient time for her to try to do something nice when everyone on YouTube is mad at her. So those are kind of my thoughts in, you know, Cliff's notes format. I love to see it, but I don't necessarily see it for what it is because of her background and knowing what I know about her. So let's get into this video. All right, you guys, so today is part 2. After I made my first video, I decided to stick around and listen to the hair portion of this video. And it was a lot, to say the least. Now, I am not a know-it-all when it comes to my hair. I do not claim to know it all. But in this video, I'm going to interject my comments, and just like I did for the makeup portion, but I'm going to do what Katie claims she was trying to do, and I'm actually going to give tips, you know, as information that I know comes up. I'm not going to act like a know-it-all, but I will actually share some alternatives or maybe things that could be done differently as the video goes along. Please do keep in mind when you're watching this video, this is not co-signing Jill. I am reacting to the criticisms that Katie Joy was giving Jill. As I did claim in part 1 of this, you know, 2-part video, whatever that I'm doing, I will say what I know of Jill, I do not agree with. Her lifestyle and my lifestyle could not be more opposite in most ways. However, I do not agree with bullying, and I do not agree with tearing other women down because they might have a different way of styling their hair or they might wear makeup that you wouldn't wear. I don't believe in coming onto your channel and acting like a know-it-all. And again, It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and that can make the biggest difference in how your audience perceives your message. So, enough with the disclaimers, we're going to get into it. And you guys might have noticed I have my dark green eyeshadow on today and some green eyeliner. So, let's get started. And also, not that anyone would say anything, excuse my makeup. It is 11 o'clock at night. I have had this makeup on all day and I am extremely tired. I tried to touch it up, but it is what it is. We don't act like perfectionists on this channel. So let's get into it.
Where did you get your degree?
I plug in my curling iron, and there's several different sizes of curling irons you can use. I actually have quite a few sizes. This is my favorite size. I think it's, I don't know, half an inch or something. I'm not positive. Anyway, this is my favorite. I love the Conair. It can go all the way up to the hottest setting. And, whoops. Turn it up as hot as it goes, and I turn it on. Let that heat up. Oh, I forgot to tell you too, when you get out of the shower.
The one thing that I will say off the bat is that she is using a small barrel curling iron from Conair. You know, curling irons, do I believe that spending a little bit more money on your curling iron can yield better results? I do personally, but I also realize that it's not in everyone's budget to spend $80 or $100 on a curling iron. So it is what it is, but she did say that she turns it up to the highest setting. I would not recommend that personally. Even when I flat iron my hair, I use my flat iron a lot more than my curling iron. I never turn it up to the highest setting. And if you are going to go that route, even though I wouldn't recommend it because it can cause a lot of damage and you can also just burn your hair off, which also is obviously not good, make sure that you are pairing your heat styling tool with a heat styling product. My personal favorite is the Woacb Royal Blowout. It is very expensive, but I have used it for years and I will co-sign on that for the rest of my life. But you can buy heat, like thermal shine sprays, thermal protection sprays at the drugstore. So if you're using hot tools, make sure that you're pairing it with some sort of heat protectant spray or oil or something along those lines. So let's keep going.
And the light up there is bright. Trying to have a good facial lotion to put on. That's one thing that I've always noticed I like. My mom loves Avon facial lotion. This is just kind of a cheap brand, similar to Oil of Olay. And so make sure you start off with a good facial cream on your face. Alright, so I'm going to let my curling iron heat up.
It's funny, she talks about her mom liking Avon because Avon is definitely an MLM. I wasn't really familiar with the fact that Avon was an MLM until somewhat recently. But it's just funny that she says that her mom likes Avon. I think that was that generation of, you know, just that generation of women who wore a ton of Avon and Mary Kay because that's just what was popular. You know, it's kind of like, you know, imagine if MAC was an MLM. Everyone uses MAC.
Well, I'll feed my baby and then I'll come back and show you how I do my hair. Bye for now. Hey, we're back, and now my baby is fed and happy, and I'm going to quickly show you how I curl my hair. And it's kind of good because it gave my hair a little bit more of a chance to dry. So normally I have a colic right here in my hair, and I also have one on this side, but I have, my biggest colic is right here. So I just kind of work with that colic. I let my hair kind of split right there, let some of the hair fall to the side. Sometimes I don't curl it, other times I might just take a touch and...
She also said that she went and like took care of her kid and came back and mentioned how it gave her hair some more time to dry. If you are using a curling iron or a flat iron, try your best to make sure that your hair is bone dry before you actually put that hot tool on your hair. I would avoid putting a hot tool on damp hair because it's literally going to cause damage, and you can burn your hair even easier if you're using it on damp hair. So if you're not going to use a hair dryer, just allow it to air dry until it's completely dry, and then either curl or flat iron it.
Go under just a little bit
Oh my God, I can't.
on my bangs.
You guys, the hair is the best. The hair part of this video is literally the best part. I can't even tell you how good this part is. I've got to shrink her out because she's so big right now. And hold on.
Do you see how giddy Katie is getting? Because she knows that she's going to have another opportunity to make fun of Jill. Like, the amount of excitement that came up, you know, in her voice and the way that she's speaking is very, very telling to me, because she's looking at this as an opportunity where she can just pick everything apart, just like she did in the makeup section.
You know who? Yeah. There's Nuri. Here's her daughter. Okay.
Don't hold it there for long. Okay. And then, just to give it a little bit of body, then I just take little small sections and I just go them all over my head. Hold it there for a little bit, get my next section ready while that's waiting. And as you can see, I have some layers, shorter layers all around the top of my hair, through and through here, and then my normal long.
The one thing I will say, you can tell with that first section of hair that she did, because her curling iron is so small, it's going to give her more of the like ringlet curls. So for me, even though my hair is very short and I don't have a lot of it because it's undercut and there is a ton of texture cut into my hair, I still use a large barrel curling iron. I think mine is 1 1/4 inch, I'm pretty sure. And I think she said hers is 1/2 inch. So those curls are going to be more tight and more ringlet instead of being like beachy, like full waves.
Top layer of curls before I do the underneath part.
I know, the way that the daughter is doing the filming is making me dizzy too.
I'll go around and do the underneath.
And is it me, or is her camera terrible? I know this was filmed a couple years ago, but why is the camera so bad?
So Katie's going to complain about the camera quality. Look at Jill's camera quality and then look at Katie's. Personally, I don't see a massive difference. Maybe I'm crazy, but if you're looking at them side by side, they're both blurry. They're both very fuzzy. The only thing that I can see on Katie's is that she has a little bit of better lighting. But if we're just looking at the camera quality itself, it's not like hers is clear as day. Again, the hypocrisy of it all.
It looks like it was filmed 15 years ago.
And isn't Jill, again, what I know of this family is very little, to be honest, but aren't they very poor? So why would Katie expect good camera quality from a family that has a lot of children and not a lot of money? Why even mention that? I don't know.
Then I'll bring it all around to this side and do all this side. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me curl my whole head of hair. But
see, this is the part where I do think she's with Bill Gothard because of the way she's curling her hair. Billy loves the hair curly.
Who is Bill Gothard? So Bill is a minister. He's like tied in with the Duggars. Like I don't know anything about these you know, ministers and stuff, because that's just not something that I really follow. but evidently Katie felt the need to make a comment, so.
Okay, so my whole head of hair is curled and I'm plumb out of time. We have to get to church. So I'm going to show you really fast how I would do my hair after I curled it all. I would just get all these curls in it.
Okay, this is literally the best part.
As you can see, and I try not to brush them out.
So far, this is very standard in my opinion. She has small ringlet curls. She's allowing them to set so that she's not combing them out when they're hot, because if you allow the curl to set, it's going to hold better than if you immediately comb it out. So let's see what she does here.
And I let it go, yes. I like a comb like this. This is my favorite. So I flip upside down. And I just use my fingers and I just finger through my hair. I don't actually brush it out.
You guys, she graduated from high school in 1997. That's not, the way she's doing this isn't even an excuse. I graduated in 97. She is 7 days older than me. This is, I can't.
I take my comb, my hair.
So she seems to be very hung up on the fact that she graduated the same year as Jill did. And I'm not sure why she's so stuck on this. I think that the way that Katie looks at things is, this is the way that I think that it should be. This is the way that it was when I was young. So this is what I am expecting to see from anyone who has the nerve to make a video and put it on YouTube.
Still a little wet. And I just sort of tease it underneath. This just adds a little body to it.
Nobody rats their hair. Absolutely no one rats their hair anymore.
Okay, so she's sitting there getting annoyed because Jill is teasing her hair. She says ratting, teasing, whatever. It's the same technique. Do you know how many hairstylists I follow on Instagram? When they are doing a high pony, they will literally tease the hair underneath so that it gives more volume and more of a look of having more hair. I realized that in the 80s and in the 90s, teasing was overdone and often just out of control. But to say that the technique is no longer relevant is showing how narrow-minded Katie is here.
Just a minute, I'll be out just a second, honey. Mama will be right there. And I just tease the things a little.
I gotta go. I'm plumb out of time. I love that.
Just kind of let it fall. Or it may.
Oh, God.
Put a little hairspray on there.
You guys, when I was her age, when we were in high school, this hairstyle that she's doing was not in. We had like pin straight hair. That's what we did back in the late 90s. Pin straight. Do you remember Kate Moss? Remember how she would like that like very chic, straight, flat ironed hair? That's how hair looked in the late 90s. This was what hair looked like in the mid 80s.
Okay, so as a point of reference, she loves to use just one person as an example. So let's look at a photo of Kate Moss in 1997. I see curly hair Kate Moss. I see really big voluminous hair, beach wavy hair. I'll throw up some photos for reference. Some with straight hair. But let's look at popular women's hairstyle. Yeah, so that's what I think of. I think of like the Jennifer Aniston or the yeah, even like Meg Ryan. I think of the shaggy hair. I do not think that just pin straight hair was like the thing in the 90s. I think that women were still very much into voluminous hair in the late 90s, since it did carry over from the 80s. This argument sort of collapses on itself, if you ask me. I do not think that just pin straight hair was the only thing being seen in 97, but maybe that's the only thing that Katie saw in Minnesota. I don't know.
Go into it and put a little tease into it. Just helps. Now, I could just leave it like this. I have a really bad part back here, kind of an ugly part that just always parts right there. So I always make sure I put enough tease right over that part so that it doesn't split open. And then spray it a little bit. I always like to use Aussie Insta Freeze. I've used this for years.
The one thing I will say is the hairspray that she's using has alcohol is the first or the second ingredient, so there's a ton of alcohol in this, and instead of using just a hairspray to actually freeze the hair in place, I would recommend a texture spray, something like a dry texturizing spray. I have the one from Woacb. I realize, again, that's expensive, but you can find these sprays in the drugstore, and it will not only give your hair hold, but it will also add that little bit of grit so that you have more of the texture left in your hair, as opposed to it just freezing it in place like a hairspray does. But if you are going to go the hairspray route, I would try to avoid the aerosol ones, because those typically do have a crazy amount of alcohol, which is bad for your scalp, your hair, your skin, all of that good stuff. So I would say if you are going to go the hairspray route, just try to not go the aerosol route.
Of course you have.
My absolute favorite. Sometimes I'll take a little bit of clump of hair and just put a little pinch clip.
And she's using those tiny pinch clips that we used in the 90s. This is a mind F. Mind F.
I need to, again, the audio and video is off on this video. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what tiny clips that she's talking about. So we'll have to wait till the video gets to that point. So she's clowning on Jill for having these little clips. You guys, like, I will literally insert a photo. I own these clips today, and I use them from time to time. Like, I think Katie is trying to paint this portrait of a woman who is stuck in 1985, and she's just so outlandish with the way that she does her makeup and her hair, and she just doesn't know anything about makeup or fashion or hair. And she's tying that to religion, which is it's a very bizarre way to bring someone down, in my personal opinion. This video could have been delivered in a completely different light, and it would have been received in a completely different way. But instead, it turned into an opportunity for Katie to bully someone who she doesn't necessarily agree with.
I think that I will call that good for today.
Her hair looks so bad.
I will say Homegirl uses a ton of hairspray. And again, like, I'm all for styling products, but I do my best to avoid ones that have high concentrations of alcohol in them. And yeah.
Because I am out of time. So this is the curl pluck.
Okay, so she's saying how bad Jill's hair looks, and what is my personal opinion on Jill's hair? I think it's big, and if you guys have seen any of my videos, this is what you get with me. Very sleek, you know, flat ironed, shiny hair. That's just what I like. That's what I've liked for a very long time. Once in a while, I'll do some beach waves and get it a little messy, but 8 times out of 10, this is what you're going to get with me. So for me, I am not someone who gravitates towards big voluminous curls and lots of, you know, crazy layers and stuff. That's just not my personal style. Her hair is very big, but when I look at it, do I think, oh my God, she's stuck in 1985? Not necessarily. I just look at it like it's a lot of big curls that are now being held in place with an alcohol-based hairspray that will probably not look super natural for the finished product.
And then I just get a mirror. This little room is getting more and more messed up as we all get ready. But I just check out the back of it.
Just a quick spritz.
And so that is how I do it when I curl my hair.
Did she take her makeup cues from Tammy Faye Baker?
You guys, Tammy Faye Baker, really? I mean, you can disagree with the way that Jill does her makeup, but this is nothing even close to Tammy Faye Baker. So that was a horrible joke that did not land.
All right, thanks. Bye for now. Hi, here we are again. And I have my makeup on this time, but I didn't do my hair yet. And I thought I would show you just a simpler way. The other day I showed you a bunch of curls in my hair, and like I said, my mom has naturally curly hair, so I have a little bit of scrunch in my hair, a little bit of curl, not very much.
Jill, you don't have any scrunch in your hair. Not a titch. And just because your mom has curly hair does not mean you have curly hair.
Does Katie realize that you can have wavy hair and it not necessarily look curly? Not everyone who has a curly hair type is going to look like, I'll throw up an example image. There are many different types of curly hair, and in fact, if you guys want to believe it or not, when my hair gets longer, my hair is actually wavy. So if my hair were to be, you know, past my collarbones, the ends of my hair, if I let them dry naturally, would actually dry with a little bit of a wave, which is very weird, very bizarre. But you would never think that just looking at my hair. And the way she jumps all over Jill saying, oh, just because your mom has curly hair doesn't mean that you have curly hair. You don't have any curly hair.
She has zero. I mean, her hair is straight.
But I work with what I have, and I try to scrunch up and get those curls going in my hair.
Just like
so
the 80s.
This is just a lot quicker of a way if I don't have time to stand there. And
Does she have any scrunch? Can people tell me? Am I the only one that sees that she has absolutely no scrunch in her hair? Her hair is straight.
Her hair to me actually does not look completely straight. It doesn't look quote unquote curly, what you would typically think of curly hair being, but this is sort of similar to what I was talking about, how when my hair is long, the ends of my hair will actually technically dry with a little bit of a wave. So, you know, can't tell that to Katie though.
All these curls in my hair, this is a faster way. So today I'll wear my blouse that my son Timothy bought me. It says #1 mom. I want you to know, I don't think I'm a #1 mom. I'm sure there's many moms out there that are better than me, but I do try to be a good mom. My sweet son Timothy bought this for me, so I like to wear it now and then. So I'm going to show you a simple hairdo. I get mousse, and Tresemme is one of the ones I like to use, but you can use pretty much any mousse. I don't like it to be a mousse that's like really, really stiff. It makes my hair really stiff. I like it to be kind of a looser hold too.
Mousse? Really? It's 2020. Get a volumizer, please. Please.
Okay, so Katie thinks that a mousse is not a volumizer. She's telling this lady Jill to get a volumizer. Mousse is actually for volume. I don't think that Katie even thought to look into this at all. There are certain things that Katie Joy associates with the 80s, and she gets very, very stuck on it from what I've noticed. And I have already seen this video, so I will tell you guys right now, she is about to get super upset over the fact that Jill is using a mousse. Let's keep watching.
Professional videotapers, as you can tell. But I get about a golf ball size in my hand, and then I just kind of rub that around, and I put it in one side of my hair. I just kind of try not to put as much in.
Okay, you guys, mousse is actually for your roots. She's putting mousse throughout her whole hair. You're supposed to use mousse in your roots for volume. It should not be all the way through your hair. Nobody puts mousse all the way through their hair. It's a volumizer.
Here we go. So, at first, Katie said, "Why are you using a mousse? Use a volumizer." Then she says, "Why are you using mousse through your whole hair? It's only for your roots." And then she says, "Mousse is for volume." So that was a clusterfuck of ignorancy, in my personal opinion. You can use mousse from your roots to your ends. Nobody ever said it has to be used only on your roots or only on your ends or only on the mid shaft of your hair. This is completely ridiculous, and I don't think that she even thinks about what she's saying, because hearing her argument from beginning to end was the most ignorant thing that I've ever heard, in my personal opinion. First, you're bitching at her for using a mousse, telling her to do a volumizer, then you're calling the mousse a volumizer, then you're saying that it belongs on the roots, not all over your hair. Like, what is going on here?
In your bangs. Another golf ball size. And I do. Still see that okay, Kaylee? Or is it better than me the other way?
It's kind of
Better than me this way? Okay, so put it in this side of your hair. And then sometimes I have to just use a little bit more, just to make.
I will say, instead of her kind of combing downwards, what I would have done is tried to work the mousse into the hair while like scrunching it so that it started to take its shape, instead of combing it through and then trying to reshape it. I would have done the reshaping while applying it simultaneously, if that makes sense.
Sure, I've gotten the back side good, and I flip upside down, and then I just try to make sure I get the ends. Just kind of scrunch it, scrunch, until I have a lot of scrunch in my hair. Now this hairstyle would not work for everyone.
There's no scrunch in your hair, Jill. Not a little even. I mean, it looks literally the exact same.
She's not even giving Jill the opportunity to style it. She's still putting the mousse in her hair. This is the thing, Katie likes to take the opportunity to jump on everyone before they can even finish their sentence or their thought or the process that they're going through. She's just jumping down your throat because she enjoys this activity of jumping all over people and picking them apart. She gets a thrill out of it. You can tell off and on through this video the way that she's making herself snicker and laugh. She actually thinks that she's being funny, and she's not at all.
It just looks wet now with mousse.
It only probably work for people that have a little bit of wave in their hair. It doesn't have to be a lot of wave, but a little bit. My daughter Marie has very, very straight hair, thick, straight hair. She's very blessed. And my hair's a lot finer and a lot.
See, now she's actually like starting to scrunch it. So Katie jumped all over her before she could even finish showing what the she was doing.
Thinner, but I do have a little bit of wave in it. So this works for like my hairstyle. It would probably work for Kaylee's hairstyle. And my daughter Renee's hair, it works for her hair. So you have to have the right kind of hair to do this hairstyle. But if a lot of ladies do, I work with a lot of hair down through the years, and a lot of ladies do have a little bit of finer hair with a touch of wave in it. So you could probably make this work for you if you have that type of hair. Then I get my blow dryer. It's going to be hard to hear me once I turn it on. I'm not going to have Kaylee videotape the whole thing of me blow drying it, but just a little bit of how I really work on.
Okay, for naturally curly hair, I guess mousse is great, according to Denise. Sorry, Denise. I misspeak.
Scrunching my hair.
Okay, so Katie Joy, for once in her lifetime, corrected herself when someone said that mousse is actually good for naturally curly hair. But she apologized to the person that made the comment. She didn't apologize for the way that she delivered her bitchy comments towards this woman doing the hair video. This is ridiculous.
Scrunching my hair with the blow dryer. Sometimes you can put a diffuser on the end of your blow dryer, and that helps not the direct heat not be so strong in your hair. But for me, it takes a little too long to do that. I don't have very much time. I have to whiz through my grooming because I have so many children. Okay, so here we go. I'll turn it on high.
The one thing I will say is instead of Jill putting heat on her hair, she doesn't have a diffuser. She said you can use a diffuser. I guess she doesn't have one or didn't use it in this video. I would say allow it to air dry. Opportunity to skip the heat, especially since she is someone who uses hot tools, curling irons, blow dryers, flat irons. If I was doing this, I would allow this to be a hairstyle for a no heat day to give my hair a break, but that's just what I would do.
Oh, doing her poofy hair.
Do you see this face that she's making? This like face of disgust. What is wrong with her?
Just like Bill Gothard likes.
Oh, it's awesome. I have to use bobby pins.
Don't poof your hair out like that, ladies. Oh my God. What are we FLDSing? What is with the fundy hairstyles?
Okay, and then I'll just take what hair is here, and like I showed you the other day, just put a little bit of tease in it. This is just how I do my bangs. You can do your bangs however works for you. You may not even have bangs. But my forehead is a little bit flatter in through here, and so my daughter Marie is the same way. So we feel like we personally look.
Do you see her face? Look at how grossed out she looks.
A little bit better with a little bit of puff around our forehead.
Wow.
Now a lot of times we'll grow them out longer like they are right now, and then we'll cut them back.
God, her hair looks so
A
bad.
little bit of a point here.
Why is this the hairstyle for the fundies? Why do they do this? Why? Who else feels like she's getting ready to go hang out with Warren Jeffs? This looks like a Keep Sweet Warren Jeffs hairstyle, right? And after all of that, her hair has no scrunch.
I mean, is this hairstyle something that I would wear? Probably not, but it just goes to show how much this is not a criticism video. This is not something where Katie is trying to help give tips or whatever the fuck she was trying to say, you know, in the makeup section of this video. This is her literally picking someone who doesn't look like her, doesn't dress like her, and doesn't act like her, to pick them apart and go extra hard on them because of their religious beliefs.
It really looks like there's no scrunch.
People that don't need to use a lot of hairspray because their hair is just.
She's really tied up on this scrunch thing too. I see some of it. You know, is it like extra crazy? Definitely not. But it is there. So let's not act like it's stick straight. But she would not give any credit because that's not what we're here for.
Oh my God, I'm surprised she doesn't use a bump it. That was the best comment. Oh my God, I'm surprised she doesn't use a bump it. That was the best comment. A bump it. She needs to bump it. A bump it. All she did was add frizz. She added no crunch. It doesn't look at all crunchy.
She doesn't have to use very much hairspray. I just take all this scrunch that I've worked at getting, and I just spritz it a touch, fluff it, scrunch it a little more with the hairspray, help hold it.
She definitely likes her hairspray. That's one thing that I've gathered from this video. That the amount of hairspray that she uses on her hair, I do think is definitely causing some sort of damage. But it is what it is. You know, if this is the hairstyle that she wants to wear and it makes her feel confident and good, then by all means go for it. But I would recommend switching out some of the products, maybe some of the techniques, laying off the heat a little bit, and I think that it would be better for the health of her hair. But that's just my opinion.
I just check the back of it, make sure it looks together and that you can't see any parts.
It literally looks frizzy. That's all it looks like, right? Her finished look looks like someone who had a bad night. Her finished look is like what you look like after the walk of shame.
And once I know that it looks good, I just spray it up a touch.
How much hairspray do you need?
She gets so much pleasure off of literally making fun of other women. I've never seen anything like this. The amount of excitement and joy on her face is appalling.
And I wanted to remind you that the Bible says, I want to always bring the Bible into this too. The Bible says that it is a shame for a man to have long hair. And the woman is given her hair as her covering. And so that's what the Bible says. So now my hair grows very slow, but I do try to keep some length to it. Always try to remember the philosophy of keeping your neck covered and your ears covered. That's kind of a good way to think of it as a covering. At least have it past your ears and your neck. Again, there's some people out there that...
Dude, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. You guys. My neck isn't covered. You guys, I'm defrauding.
So she thinks that she's a comedian now, saying that her neck is exposed, she's defrauding, all of this kind of stuff. Like, I have a problem with how childish people can act, and I don't understand how you expect anyone to take you seriously if you are bullying and belittling and making fun of another woman in the manner that you are. You guys, I did a video reacting to Girl Defined teaching me how to wear makeup in a God-honoring way. I delivered that video with my thoughts, my very personal thoughts on what they were telling to their young female audience. There is a way to deliver your message regarding someone who has a different belief system than you and have people actually listen to that message. What she's doing here is, in my opinion, bullying, and that's it. Nothing more respectful, nothing that should garner the attention or respect from her audience. This is embarrassing.
I'm straight defrauding. My neck is not covered. I'm defrauding. Oh my God, I'm defrauding. I can't do this. I'm defrauding.
there that have hair.
Wait, hold on. You guys look. I'm defrauding with my ears. Look, my neck. I'm defrauding with my neck.
Of my older videos.
Because there's nothing sexier than earlobes.
That if you are able to have the modest apparel is the
Jill, your shirt is really tight. I can see the out.
And this is the thing. She could have come on her channel and done this video and said, you guys, I don't know a whole lot, but what I do know, I will share exactly how I opened this video. She could have said that, and the audience would have been more open to listening to what she had to say, but she goes about it in such a know-it-all, just nasty, gross personality. This is childlike. That's what it is.
Line of your bosom, and I'm thinking defrauded thoughts right now, Jilly.
To the Lord. And even skirts that are too short. Try to make sure that when you're standing, your skirt goes below your knee, and that when you're sitting, it can easily cover your knees, so that you can keep from men looking up your skirt. And just try.
You know what covers looking up your skirt better than looking up your skirt? Wearing pants. Nobody can look at your vajaj if you're wearing pants. She is the reason for climate change with all of the aerosol hairspray. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Specific outfit that day, if it's, I don't know, a special day that I want to wear.
Bethany needs to come over and give her a denim jumper. You are 100% on that.
But if
okay. This was so much. My brain can't even compute. Longer hair. We must wear long jewelry. Poofing like this is where we're supposed to go, and we must apply the eyeliner 3 times.
It did not work.
So she sits there and messes up her hair and makes this big fucking ordeal, thinking that she's just being so funny. The level of mockery in this video is actually giving me a headache. It's unbelievable that someone would find so much joy in just not even criticizing, not even having a conversation. Here's my question. Who is entertained by this? Why would this be entertaining to anyone to watch? Even if you're someone who doesn't like Jill and you know, you have your own personal beliefs and you don't like her and you know everything about them, and that's fine. Like I said, I don't agree with her either. But even if you are that, why would you want to watch Katie act like a child and just tear into this woman every opportunity she gets? I don't understand the value in it. Maybe it's just me. But this video was extremely embarrassing. So she basically closes out the video, thinks she just had a blast, says how much fun she had, and you know, of course it's fun because she's making fun of someone that she doesn't like. You know, my thoughts are very much in line with the makeup portion of this video that I reacted to. It's just wrong on so many levels, in my personal opinion. Like I said, you can come to the table with valid criticism and say, you know, this person is doing it wrong. I do not like them. These are my criticisms. Let's have a conversation about it. The way that Katie makes fun of her and is so mean-spirited about it, it's not even like poking fun or making jokes. It's in its own category. I know sometimes, you know, I will poke fun of Micah and make videos about Micah and stuff, but there's being funny, and then there's being like you're actually being mean, and that in my opinion, is the zone that Katie falls into, where she's just being mean and she's enjoying every second of it. But I will say the same thing I did in my other video. If you are someone who participated in the comments of this video or in the live, I would reconsider where your heart is and try to figure out a better way to spend your energy and your patience on the internet. And don't get it twisted, guys. Like, I'm not some goody two-shoes over here who just wants everyone to get along and all of this kind of stuff. I'm shining a light on this because this is a completely different format of being mean that I've never seen before, and that's why I want to talk about it. So those are my thoughts on this part of the video. I hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.